Hello, welcome, good evening, good day. Guess what? It's Thursday night, so welcome back to Comics Wellspring's live drawing show, Spilled Ink, where we're spilling the ink and spilling the tea. And of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf. And today, I don't have a co-host. Max is sick, so it's a sad day. Sad day,
I'll be your
I know
co-host.
he's there you go. We have the replacement flying in all the way from the north. Actually, we have two amazing guests with us tonight, both returning champions. Let's say hi to Mr. Brandon DePillis. Hello, Brandon. How are you today?
Hey, how you doing? I'm happy to be here. Nice to be with
Hyped
you
to have
guys.
you on. I'm super excited to hang out with you. It's been I think since I feel like one of our first buildings. It's been a minute since we've had you on the show, huh?
Well, you and I, but I was on with Nate and Max not too long ago for the Family Man, and you were not there. You were at Ice.
Yes, that's right. I was at IC3. That's right. Oh man. Okay, cool. Well, it's been a minute since I've seen you, so I'm super happy you're here and back and
Yeah.
returning. Dude, super hyped. We also have a returning guest here, Mr. Douglas Knight of Cross-Eye
What
Comics. Hello, Doug.
what goes on, gentlemen?
Um, Returning champ 2 weeks in a row. Thanks for coming back for a second week and filling the spot. We turns out we really needed it.
The Kickstarter's still running. I'm available, baby.
There you go. And you just funded today too, huh?
I did. I hit 100. Breaking news.
Congrats.
Nice, man.
Thank
That is
you.
always the best. What's
Um,
your
yeah.
internal what was your goal and what's your internal like personal goal for the Kickstarter?
So I set the final goal for 1,500 Canadian. It's a little bit over. It's just over 1,000 US. Ideally, I'd love to double it. So I'm really like I'm still like white knuckling it. Now I know at least like I'll get a print run. It's not just gonna be a scrambling for shackles or whatever. Um, but I definitely am happy with the window that's left. A solid 24 days left on it. So it gives me plenty of time to continue to hustle on the local levels and continue doing interviews and stuff. So I would love to see 3 grand Canadian, so I can really dedicate a substantial amount towards the print run. Um, and that's kind of it. I think we all were kind of coached at a early point to go in low with a marker so you can achieve and fund,
Yep.
and get something versus nothing. And so yeah, so now it's a matter of like I feel like it's just kind of going into every meeting with like a little bit more swagger. Where it's like I don't feel like a used car salesman. I feel like no disrespect to used car salesmen, but like I feel like just somebody that's boosting the platform. So I'm
Yeah.
a little bit more easy now.
Dude, that's awesome. I think that's a big thing with Kickstarters too, is you have to shoot for what you know you can make so you could have
Yeah,
that success. Um, but also, leave that personal goal. Like you still chase that. People kind of forget that you kind of have two goals in mind, like the realistic one and the one that you really want to achieve to make your life just easier and better and simpler. But
totes.
you gotta be able to accept both fates too. And also it beats
Yep,
like crashing and burning and not getting any of the funds and having to
totally.
do all that over again. Like that's that's not fun.
Yeah, I I mean, I made it pretty public. A couple, I guess, like last year when I decided not to put White Cell Squadron issue 2 up, that I just really wasn't totally stoked with the level of office pornography that was going on Kickstarter and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
and so like it really like when I was boosting like an all ages book, I felt like awful having like super wicked White Cell Squadron issue 2 next to super wicked booty zombies or whatever. Like there's like all these like crazy I'm not gonna say it's AI generated, but like it looks like it's all kind of the same line of creation, and it's like you watching these guys fund for like $55,000 on like 300 backers and stuff, and you're like, dang, maybe I should just get into smut, you know. but
Dude,
but it feels it
apologizing.
feels good staying true. What's that?
But we're working on just that book so we could, get it funded and have it fund the rest of
And
our project here.
that's brilliant.
That's like the
Um,
Ron Howard
but
approach.
Yeah, yeah, true, yeah. Like, I'm just trying
You ever
to.
hear that story?
No, I don't.
no,
The Ron
Elaborate.
Howard story? Um,
I'll elaborate
he
this by the campfire, Brendan.
after he finished making Happy Days as a young man, he wanted to get into directing, and he couldn't get the funds to make his first movie, so he was going to make a an adult movie with and do it under like a pseudonym to help fund his real movie. And
On Ploward.
but he never went through with that because he thought it would delegitimize him if he did do that.
Yeah,
So, but I always think of that like the Ron Howard approach.
Yeah, dude, straight up though. Like, kind of have to. I mean, I guess that's how like OnlyFans is like a thing now too. You know what I mean? Like, you're just trying to get by for a minute, probably. There's some stuff, and you're just like, okay, well, I'll do this for a couple months.
and then you toot on one cake, make $10,000.
Hey, they're hard
Straight
working,
up.
man. Those are hard. They're hard working. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
man.
knock them.
I'm not delegitimizing anybody's ability to provide
Oh no,
for their family
not
and
at
pay
all.
their bills. I
Yeah,
think
not
I
at
think
all.
we live. If anything, I think it's wonderful that we live in a world where the access to creative solutions for living and fulfilling your dreams, like traveling. Like, how cool would it be just to book that plane ticket and willy nilly wherever you want to go? Like, it was sick.
I'm
Um,
gonna go to
but
Toronto to see Doug.
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to toot on a couple cakes to afford that.
I could drive there.
Um,
How
yeah,
did we get
so
so dirty already?
I was just gonna say, getting back to what we were talking about, I think that like going into this Kickstarter and having like the ska zombie thing and just like something where it's like this feels like a big mixed bag of nuts that I've got going on. And I've said it a few times because I've been like very hard on the media circuit that like I'm not in this to get paid for making my books or anything. I'm in it just to get prints because I've learned from conventioning and stuff that like that's where you turn your profit and you get out there, right? So by having a few people back the big tiers, it's going to let me unlock that next level of like donating books to kids and then getting like the really fun stuff printed and just not stressing about that. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about not stressing about at least a base level print run. And the fine folks at CWS offer great incentives if you feature their branding on your Kickstarter page. So it's going to help a lot also. And
Actually, you don't
we're going to make
even
some.
need that anymore, to tell you the truth. You just gotta
What's
tell
that?
us. You don't even need to put the branding on your page anymore.
Well, they
Yeah.
asked, so I did. And
Yeah, that's a new update. It's like in the last couple of weeks. I was
yeah,
informed.
well, I thought it made my page look pretty snazzy, anyways.
It does. I
Um,
like having the banner on the page. Makes me feel more legit, you know?
yeah. Um, well, it's true. Like I think that as indies, you look for anything that's gonna like feel like it's legitimizing how you're presenting yourself, right? So when you see that you've got like big branding on there that you didn't have to toil over in Photoshop, you know, he's cool.
Hey, I like doing that stuff.
I enjoy it, but I wouldn't say that I love it. Anything that keeps me away from creating is like oof, humdrum.
That's where most of my t-shirt designs come from. Is coming up with ideas on how to promote myself.
Such is the hustle.
Yeah.
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 Okay, let's see.
What
Is
are
this
what
Black
are some
Panther
of
enough?
your Yeah, that's pretty dope actually. What are some of your Kickstarter practices, Brandon? I'm curious. I feel like you've had some good success.
Yeah, I've funded everything I've launched, so that's good. Um, uh, I don't know. I learned from all of you guys, so I like doing a low goal. just because
Mhm.
getting across the finish line is the most important part. What else do let's see. I actually get really tired of promoting myself during it, so
Yeah.
sticking with it and you just see it through to the end of the 30 days or however many days you do, it's really important because when you do that, all of a sudden it's like you get into that final phase and then it starts rolling in again. And
Mhm.
I'm at the last 3 days of my campaigns, I've made somewhere like 40 to 50%, not 50%, 40 to, what was it, like 30 to 40% of the total funding was in the last 3 days of my Kickstarter,
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
and
And
that's
that has a
important
lot to do
too.
with having a strong pre-launch number, right?
No, not for me because I'm horrible at doing that.
Oh, sweet. I'm glad I'm not the only
Honestly,
one.
honestly, I'm probably the worst person to ask about that stuff, you know. But I do try to help people. I think being positive and um, open and communicative with the people who back your Kickstarter is important,
Yeah.
and just being
Huge.
straightforward and honest.
Yep. It's kind of interesting that we come around to this topic. I had a dude, or a person, I don't want to presume how they go by, but they reached out to me on Messenger, and like I just saw it in the message request thing, and they're like, "Oh, tell me when it's going live." I was like, "Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. It's live, go!" But like, I think they're more interested in asking questions about like how to prep a Kickstarter and stuff because their friend was about to launch or something, and like I checked it out and it's a very cool project for like a food truck startup and stuff.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and I was just like, I took this opportunity to like really I was like, let me get to my computer so I can kind of do like a full like info dump on you. Um and it was cool because I really did. I took the time to like um kind of give them whatever information I thought was super pertinent to like engaging and being transparent and all that kind of jimmy jam. But it's like I don't know this person. I don't know the community. I read their thing. I think they've got like a cool idea. I haven't seen like I've never dove into the Kickstarter food like you know
Yeah.
universe. So I thought it was really cool. So I leaned in with like just advice that I thought was pertinent, and I thought it was a really cool way to expand the community and share my knowledge with people outside of comics and stuff. So pretty cool.
Hey, should we talk about what we're drawing and what we're drawing on?
I
And
was just about to lead right into that. Yes, sir.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm
you
just stepping
chose.
on your toes.
Yeah, you're just taking my host. You're co-hosting. You said you're co-hosting today. You're on it. That's perfect. You're doing your job. Yeah.
Better
Why
segue.
don't you tell us? Yeah. Why don't you tell us why you chose this theme tonight?
Oh
You are
yeah.
the picker.
I don't even remember how it started. What did you said something something about villains, and you said something like thinking about like Batman villains got me thinking
Yeah.
of like the great covers of like the 70s and 80s where the covers used to be or still are, but they were different back then. They were an advertisement of the story of like an exaggeration of what was happening in the story. And I always remembered those the comics in the 80s and even in the 70s. Kirby had a lot of good ones with like Galactus on it and
Yeah.
like Doom and Mole Man where and there was a lot of X-Men covers in the 80s too, like in the late 80s when Apocalypse like they got the hands, the big head in the background, hands like surrounding the heroes, the X-Men or Galactus reaching out by Kirby for the Fantastic Four, Doom with his fist in the air as the Fantastic Four are falling at his feet, and there were advertisements for the story. It was a telling, like Doug said before, it's telling a story within a story. And you're trying to get it in one shot. So it was like an advertisement. I always thought like my favorite ones were always where the villain was reigning supreme over the heroes, and as a kid you're looking at these books and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, the X-Men are going to die. Oh my god, the Fantastic Four are going to get crushed. And I knew it wasn't going to happen because most of the time I'm pulling from quarter bins and I got like, 15 issues that I can pull for a quarter, but like still, it was cool to see, and you kind of want to know how they were going to get out of it. So I don't feel like we see those covers as much anymore, where it's like, Juggernaut, Triumphant, Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
Destruction, like
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. And I also miss lettering on covers, like
Mm.
where they're and that I don't know if anybody saw my cover for J Red's Incision 2. I did a variant cover, and my variant cover was heavily inspired by that. Um, is it all right if I flash that on here? I
Yeah,
actually have a
yeah.
copy
Show
right here.
off your stuff.
So here, and if you guys can see, you got the Incision character. He's sitting here, Frank. He's devastated,
Nice.
getting boot on the throat kind of thing. And there's like a little villain inside the story who they take on, and and the villain's triumphant here, and I have the city of Las Pluromas in the background, and it's like that kind of, welcome to Las Pluromas, Frank. Hope you survive. That kind of thing. Like
Yeah, yeah.
um, the
Setting
taunting
the
too.
stage.
Yeah, yeah. So that that cover that I did was inspired by the great artists that we read as kids, and I sometimes I wish some people would bring that back, and I thought it would be fun to do, our own version, and that we're doing it on sketch covers makes it feel like really cool. Like I feel like I'm actually getting to draw an X-Men cover, And
Oh yeah.
should I talk about what I'm drawing, and then we can work around the table?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was originally going to do a Doctor Doom holding the Fantastic Four in his palm, and and the big Doom mask and the big hand. Because if anybody knows my art, I like to do a lot of big hands. I work with my hands.
We got we
You
got
got
the
a penchant
tutorial
for
right.
perspective.
Got the
Yeah.
tutorial right here too.
Oh,
This
look
is
at
the
that.
hand tutorial.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said I
I keep
said
it at
I
my
said
desk.
Bloxdorf Doug. I said Bloxdorf a tutorial on how to draw a hand and that perspective of reaching out. It's I did
Nice.
a quick one on the back of a card for him. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like to do hands, but I also like to do feet. And since I had an X-Men sketch cover, I'm doing the Juggernaut about the stomp on a couple of X-Men, and yeah, I'm kind of having fun with this already. So, what are you guys working on?
Doug, why don't you let us know?
I've had a couple of Predator versus Black Panther covers kicking around for a while, so I'm gonna go for like that cheesy '80s like action up front with the big villain in the back kind of vibe. I might
Love
jump
that.
in and do like some heavy blacks and stuff, but yeah, I think toss some cool lettering or something in there, make it feel real campy. Um,
Love that.
and what's that?
I said I love that.
Oh, thanks. And just kind of hiding my ignorance of each character's designs by just drawing them very cool how I would draw them. Um,
Oh yeah.
but
You do a cool Black
yeah,
Panther, dude.
yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it's a guy in a cat costume that's skin tight with some teethies around it, and you know, as long as
It's
he
a
looks
guy,
sleek.
a guy like a
What's
cat.
that?
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
a cat
guy.
guy. You
He's
know.
it's yeah, Catman.
It's the easy
But
stuff. You know.
but focusing, like obviously when I'm focusing like dynamic characters, it's making sure that like the silhouette is easy to read. If it were just to be like straight up blacked out or whatever. So focusing on the things that make it a good sell once you take it out into the
Nice.
real world.
Yeah, I love the idea of the whole villain reigning over the heroes and whatnot. I was so for that idea. Um, oh, William Ibanez says awesome cover. Super hyped. Good to see you, William. But yeah, so like I couldn't decide because we went into this and I was like, man, I want to draw. I was gonna choose the theme this week. It was because it's my birthday week, so I was like, I'm gonna draw whatever I want to fucking draw. I'm not gonna give them options. And then I got
Hey,
overwhelmed, and oh, thank you. Um, and I was thinking, I was just like, man, Doctor Doom would be cool, Venom, or I should make everybody draw Kiss. That'd be super fun. I should have done that.
Oh
I
yeah,
really would do that.
I do that.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that up soon.
Here,
That
let's
would have been
let,
really cool. Maybe we'll do that after if I finish this fast enough. Um, but I went with your. I loved your idea, so I'm doing this. I pulled this out because it was a Spawn cover, not Spawn cover, a Spider-Man cover, and I was like, oh, it's a McFarlane, but I forgot it's an Eric Larson, and somebody else who worked with him on the cover. But I'm doing it on a Spawn cover, so I'm gonna homage it and do a Violator, Spawn instead of Spidey Venom since it's still a McFarlane creation. So, who else did
Nice.
we cover on this? Yeah, so I'm pretty hyped.
There, I did a very quick Gene Simmons tongue just for you there, Brandon.
Randy Emberlin. Yeah, that was the inker for it. And this is a cool freaking Venom right here, actually. It's pretty sick. I do dig
Anchor is
Eric Larson's
underappreciated.
straight up.
Did you say he's an anchor?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anchors
yeah,
are underappreciated.
they really are. That's why we have Jeff DeMars coming on next week to tell you why you
I
shouldn't
know.
underappreciate. Amazing. You and Jeff are buddies. That's so cool. You guys hang out a lot, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we text all the time with another friend of ours, Russ, who's a really good guy and a good artist, great artist. He and Jeff both are. We all met a part of. I took over running this group that's in Minnesota here, the Minnesota Comic Pros, and it's a mix of all people, at all different facets in their careers, and some hobbyists, some professional, some people who do graphic novels, syndicated cartoonists, people doing stuff for Image, Vault, um,
Cool.
and then other people who are just indies and stuff like that. And we get together like every 2 months at a brewery, and then now we just started up a coffee gathering on the off month. So 1 month is at a brewery, the next month is at a coffee, and it's going. I mean, this started up a while ago, and I just happened to take over on accident because I stumbled into it, and I might not have been the best person to take it over, but I think it's going really well, and it's cool just to meet all these different people and just become friends with these people, and that's how I became friends with Jeff and Russ. So, and a bunch of other people who are really cool to talk to and hang out with. So, yeah, it's if you get to do it in your area, I recommend it. It's fun.
That's sick.
Dude. Yeah, that's super sick. I love that. I would love to get to that point where I can love to start something like that in my community. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think just having the bandwidth to add something to my palette would be the only thing. I keep on getting stuff I want to do, and I'm like, no, don't. Like, you need a rest. Like, you need a night off.
You
But
run yourself into the ground. You
I
you do
do.
a lot.
I
Yeah.
do. Just manic, dude. I just drink a lot of coffee, and I always got a
Yeah,
joint
right.
rolled. So you got to just 5 p.m. hits. I'm just get through the evening. But it's all good. It's kind of fun because you're kind of I'm surrounded by so many cool people and they're all so excited and it's one of those things I just remind myself like it's crazy because I moved to Virginia 3 years ago and I didn't have any of this and none of this comic book stuff was happening for me. I didn't even have a book out. I just had some ideas. Apollo had no conception of even publishing or making books. And so then I look at where I am 3 years later, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter how tired I am. Like this is like the coolest thing in the universe. Like I'm at work
Right?
right now. Like this is my job.
That's
So
awesome.
I can't complain. So
It's
it's
great.
it keeps me going for sure. Because I mean, dude, like I for sure get tired. I burn out. There's days I don't want to do anything, but I'm glad I also have a partner that's just like, you know what, we should just like, not do anything today. How about that? Like, let's just watch
Nice.
movies. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we probably need. Like,
And then I
so
message you
having
67 times.
yeah, you know, on every
I
channel,
have
I have to say
dependency issues.
Delete my number, Doug.
First, Kickstarter doesn't love me. Now you don't love me.
Maybe if you stop calling them every 4 hours.
I just need feedback.
I just want to know what he thought about it. Like I was just really curious. It's all good. I mean, I love that too because I mean, dude, like everyone's passion and drive, and I see so much art, and I see all these comics coming out. It just fuels me. Like it just makes me want to do more, and it makes me really appreciate my team too. Like I see comics come in and out, and it's crazy, dude. We really do have a solid squad over at Apollo.
I know I love Apollo. I love you guys, and I hope maybe I can put a book with you guys soon, sometime.
Yeah, dude, that'd be amazing. Love that. Love to talk you into doing a book with me.
Hmm.
I,
Let's
I
see.
spit I spitballed an idea with Jade. I think that'd be cool to tie everybody into.
Getting Jade onto a book. We came up with a fun idea the other day, and we're like, we should just do this. We could finally do something together. I'm doing a lot of stuff with Jade. That's what's really cool is that I have so many creators and a network of people. I went from being like, man, I can't find people to make comics with me to being like, dude, I can just think of a comic and ask somebody. Like, it's pretty sweet.
Nobody wants to play.
It's pretty dope.
I have to think of a couple of X-Men to do small down here to squash.
You got
Oh,
Nightcrawler.
I love Nightcrawler.
It's mostly black and blue.
Do you know so X-Men were like my comic reading that I loved to read when I was growing up. Like, I read all comics, DC, Marvel, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they were starting out. I read all these comics, but X-Men was like that treasure. Like for me, I I don't even know when I started collecting X-Men. I guess I might have been about 9, and I didn't stop until I was like 16. So I guess I had about after all my collecting, I have like 10 year straight run of Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men. Um,
That's
and
cool.
I love, man, I used to read those books over and over again. I have no clue what I was talking about or where my point was going. Just that I love the X-Men.
That's
Oh
perfect.
yeah, we're just
I mean,
talking about like who you wanted
honestly,
to add.
I'll go for it, Doug. My bad.
No, I was just saying we're just talking about. He asked. He forgets. He says he forgets where he was going. I said you're just trying to
Oh yeah.
figure out who the hell you're going to draw.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at my thing and I'm talking at the same time, and apparently I can't do both at the same time. So,
Oh,
oh,
Adam Matthew Smith said, "Juggernaut's looking sick. Make him step on Psylocke. That'd be cool."
which one? So I liked Betsy Braddock when she first came into it before Jim. Was it Jim? No, it wasn't Jim Lee. I can't remember who did what they did to her. But I appreciate both characters. But I really liked it when Betsy Braddock was not like a ninja, a super ninja. That was in the early '80s. When she first joined the X-Men team, she was what's his name? The Captain Britain's sister is who Betsy Braddock is, and she was just a psychic, but she had these, she was a good psychic, but she was not a ninja at the time. And there's a whole issue where she took on Sabretooth, and I think it's around 212, maybe 213 or something like that. And it was just amazing. It was so good. I loved those issues around 200 to 220. In between Fall of the Mutants and Mutant Massacre, there were a bunch of like you had the team, but you had a bunch of single issues where like Nightcrawler was taking on Arcade, one of my favorite villains, which I should have done. Arcade. Um, you had Dazzler taking on Juggernaut by herself. You had uh, Betsy Braddock taking on Sabretooth, and those were fantastic. I loved those issues. I loved all of them.
Sick. I actually was never like an X-Men person growing up.
So
I like.
for
I
shame.
think I've only read like Grant Morrison's X-Men, which I loved. I like loved that run. Um, But I think I read Chris Claremont's like a couple of his issues, and then I was like, this guy's never spoken to another human before in his life by just writing. And I think I was just being snobby because I was like in college, and I was like, what is this? Um, shabby, shabby list writing. It doesn't even sound like he's interacted with humans before, knows context, and I was just like, I think I'm just being a dick. I got to give it another chance. But like, I don't know, X-Men was always overwhelming for me, I feel. Um, but I am a Wolverine
It
fan. I
had a
guess it's
hard
kind of
entry.
basic, but yeah.
It had a difficult entry point, really.
And there's a lot of like timey-wimey stuff that like threw me off at first, and like I started reading Age of Apocalypse, and that was dope. And I think I need to commit to it. That's what it is. I need to read
Oh
all of
yeah.
Krakoa. I got to read the Claremont. Like, but I'm just like a Morrison fanboy too, so I just stuck to the Morrison run, which I love. Like, I love everything about it.
You
But
go always go the Bernal route and just try to read every X-Men ever.
yeah, honestly,
I have a friend who's getting into comics, and she knew I had all the X-Men. She's like, I want to come over and just read all your X-Men, and I just laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I mean, now I have everything in short boxes, but I had like 2 to 3 long boxes of just a straight X-Men run.
I
So
bet.
like, I'm just like, and they have like, what, 100 to 125 books in each one. So I'm just like laughing at her, like, yeah, that'll never happen.
Years it will take you.
It's not like reading all
Yeah.
the 50 Shades of Grey books. It's not like reading. It's not like just making your way through Harry Potter on a weekend. I keep
Very
doing
true.
this
I've
all
never
day.
read those books. I gotta read those one day.
They're entertaining.
He's the
It's
creator of
like there's a
course.
reason why they're so captivating. I'm reading. I go through like bedtime stories with my kids now, and we deep dive novels and stuff. A lot of Robert Munch also, but we read like Artemis Fowl and that kind of jazz, and it's like it's cool. It's good to get into like the youth nonfiction and stuff.
That's
It's the
cool.
fun time, man. That's the fun
Yeah,
time. Hey,
Dude,
Doug,
I
how old are
just
your kids?
read
Your kids are pretty young, right?
yeah. Almost 10 and just recently 5.
Okay. Have you ever read Bad Kitty?
No. Have you ever
You
read
should.
Go the F to Sleep?
Oh, I've read that. Yes.
Eh,
if if you get a chance, read Bad Kitty. Um, your 10-year-old might even because you'll laugh. You'll laugh so hard. It is one of the funniest series I've ever read. Um, is the Bad Kitty books? They're they're drawn, so they're not like a graphic novel, but they're not like um they're like a book, but with a lot of so it's a kid's book, but there's a lot of illustration, but it's like a early chapter book. But they're the funniest books, man. I laugh so hard reading those books to my daughter.
That's
She
cool.
still has this series here. I highly recommend you sit it. If you can read it with your kids, they're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny, so
Cool,
so
man.
funny. Hey, is it okay if I use a cheat sheet?
hey, he's a cheat sheet. You gotta do what you gotta do. Like
Well, I have so when
oh
I work and I do panels, I draw. So I
yeah.
had to do um a bunch of panels of people running, and I have a
That's
bunch of
cool.
running poses that I drew together.
Oh
So I'm like,
rad.
yeah, so I have like 5 running poses here, and I'm like, oh, I can use that and just have the X-Men running away from getting stomped. That'd be cool
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sounds dope.
if I can mimic it.
So I use my Posca green, so I could get I put the I've never I always mess this up. I always do Posca post inking. So I'm like I did the green first, and now I'm gonna
Yeah.
start inking it. I think that's smarter. Might add a little bit more. I feel like I was being a little stingy though, or maybe a darker green to kind of emphasize some stuff.
Go show your brother. Go show your brother. I'm live right now. You can't show me that. Go. My 5-year-old is exploring how to draw phalluses. Go on. Go show your brother.
It's amazing.
That's how you say it. Internet safe for everybody. Oh yeah, I love it. I
That's
wouldn't trade it
funny.
for the world. Oh my god. I thought it was gonna be something cute. I gotta show you something. Sure, son. But I drew a wiener.
It's amazing.
Uh, yeah, it really is. It's another story. Oh no, where's the hell did my brush go? Oh no, it fell. I've gotten paranoid about nurturing my number twos and like my brushes for anybody that's what's he talking about? My Kolinsky's like because I've got like my synthetic brushes that I beat the crap out of when I like lay down my colors and stuff, but you got to keep those inking brushes tight. And there's like a whole like I take better care of my brush than I do my beard, you know,
New vibes.
condition it after every use. Like,
And
I'm
speaking of
horrible.
my brushes,
I'm
what
so
are my
bad with that
Pentel
stuff.
brushes?
well, I thought I was being cheeky a couple weeks ago, and I inked a strip that I did, and I did not check to see if it was water soluble or not. So when I went to paint over top of it, everything bled, nasty.
Dude, that happened to the Skullhead cover I was doing. I need to send you a picture
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
It was one
I,
of my fine liners just like bled when I put the
yeah,
watercolor on.
yeah. And so I was like, I was good enough to like be able to utilize the bleed to just like activate it at shadows where I need it and stuff. But there's definitely like to the trained eye, when you saw it, you're like, oh, he done messed up. So yeah,
Dude, that's dope, Brandon. That's so
Yeah,
sick.
I'm trying to zoom in, but not getting my way of drawing because I'm drawing smaller guys now. So trying to figure out.
I got Hunt the Hunter. I'm going with. I don't know how much people can see. This is what I'm cooking so far. It's a thing. It'll be cool.
I have two brush pens and one of them's dying, one of them's alive, and it's always fun figuring out which one's which.
Was it this spilled ink last week where I was talking about borrowing Adrian Colaric's uh, a bottle of ink off of him when my brush pen had died at the show,
Over.
and so I was just dipping the brush pen like to utilize as an inker still, but it like the cartridge is dead. I was just dipping. I felt like I was
Yeah,
MacGyvering. That's so
I've
funny.
done that. I do that on there, and I was like, "Well, I need to make sure I have a backup,
Yeah.
especially when I'm live." And I think I might even be able to
Uh,
add more color to this.
Brandon, how old are your kids?
My daughter is 12.
So
I only have one, and she's 12.
And other Brandon, tell us about your cats.
yeah, that's what I thought. I forget that there's two Brandons in here. I was ready to like start talking about my children. Yeah.
I
T'Challa's
That's why
the
I always say
youngest. He's
Bloxdorf.
5. Yeah, there you go.
I, told,
I was
well,
just like,
I was doing it to mess with you because I told my kids I was going live with two Brandons, and they're like,
yeah, T'Challa's 5. Seb's. Oh no, Booby is 6, and Seb's is 7.
I told you
Only
we
one of them is
we
really
just got
mine. The rest are Step. Yeah.
and whew, that thing is his name is Chai Latte, and he is something.
Yeah,
Oh
dude, you guys
man,
are
I've
something
never seen a
else.
cat so mischievous.
did you inherit it or did you buy it like at
Oh no,
birth?
we adopted Chai Latte. Oh, Chai Latte is right here right now. Hello,
There you
Chai.
go.
My daughter just brought Chai right up behind me.
It's so cute.
Yeah, yeah. We believe he's part Maine Coon, so that's what we were
Sick.
told. And I think he is. So because he's huge.
And in my years of tattooing, I learned that you really want to know the mettle of a man, you wait for them to tell you that their dog is part wolf. Everybody that's a real that's like pretending to be harder than they are is like, I got a dog, he's part wolf. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Like the
Yeah,
number of
I'm sure.
part wolves that I've met is astonishing. Part wolf, yeah.
my
Look at him, he's a
dog,
real
my dog is golden retriever, baby,
reliable.
old reliable. He's awesome. I love my dog.
I've been very strongly flirting with the idea of signing up for a guide dog registry.
Really?
Yeah, for those of us that are new to the Doug Knight experience, I am legally blind. That is why I'm so close to the paper. But yeah.
The
So
Doug
I've been I've been looking into the possibility of, because it's like one of those things where my kids are always like, oh, let's get an animal, and I'm like, oh, like when hell freezes over. And then I was thinking to myself, well, if I get one that I have to take care of because it's working for me, like then when he gets his
Serving a
days
purpose.
off, yeah, and then he can travel with
Okay.
me.
Yeah, it'd be sick, dude. I'll table with you way more. So you got with the dog the whole time. It's
Yeah,
so
but
weird
he's
because
working,
I,
so
I never
I get to be
thought
like the
I'd be
snob.
like I never thought like I'd be like a cat person until like everything happened with my dog and he passed away and then I'm like, oh, I'm like a full frontal like cat person now. Like this is insane. And it is a life. Like it is definitely a different experience. It's interesting though because like not having Spock around, I noticed how much like T'Challa, like how many dog traits T'Challa picked up, and T'Challa's basically our dog. He like sleeps like one, he acts like one, he like rub his belly like one. It's so hilarious. He's this weird blend of like dog cat that just works out.
So I got a quick question. I've got Colossus and I've got Nightcrawler running away. Who else should I put in there? I love Storm,
Okay,
but
but
Storm doesn't run.
Morph is kind of ambiguous, right?
Yeah, I like my '80s team. Morph wasn't in the '80s team. I like my straight up '80s team of Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Kitty Pride. Psylocke was in there, long shot. Dazzler. Ooh, Dazzler's a good one. I love Dazzler.
There you go.
There you go. You're welcome. So glad I could be of
Jubilee. I
assistance.
love Jubilee too.
Oh, do you believe me? Go. Nope. Yeah, that'd be sick.
She got
Um,
the
I still gotta watch that '97 revamp cartoon.
you know what people need to watch that I feel like got forgotten about was it X Factor, X Force? There was like a movie in the '90s, and it was like, I think it was X Factor. It was
X.
like Banshee was the leader. What was that?
What?
Generation X. Generation X.
Generation X. Yeah. And there was like Jubilee, and like Banshee was one of the team leaders, and like Emma Frost and stuff. Um, and it was
It was a
like
bad TV.
really, yeah. But for me, it was a special TV movie, and I bet you if you went back and watched it, it'd be horrible. But I'd still probably remember loving it.
So you guys watch that? There was a few X-Men TV shows too. Like there was one called Gifted, I think, right? Like, does that ring any bells?
Was
Recently,
that based on X Men or was that like an X Men ripoff? Maybe it was based on X Men.
I think it was based on X-Men, actually. Yeah. And then there was Legion. Did you guys ever watch Legion on FX?
Never watched Legion.
I started it and I didn't finish it, but I really do want to finish it because it was really good and I like the Shadow. I love the Shadow King as a villain, although I like all
Dude,
X Men
yeah.
villains. So
Yes, Ronnie.
No, it was super good, dude. I loved it. Like that was probably my favorite
The Leash
thing.
game
And
is
dude,
not
that
on
first
tonight.
episode is so good. That first episode just
Okay,
captivates you.
check.
Guys, I'm trying to think how I want to.
Just reference Taylor Swift.
Mm.
Because Xavier's gonna hate.
I love Taylor Swift. Don't knock Taylor Swift.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just not condoning. I think, like all great pop icons, she serves an incredible purpose for the people that she makes feel special. I am not one of them, but I appreciate that she has a traveling economy and that she treats the people that work for her incredibly.
Oh, she does.
I,
Yeah.
I don't spread dissent on the internet. I spread encouragement.
Love.
This is a Comics Wellspring show, not Apollo City Comics. I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself. And
I still listen to The Clash. I listen to a lot of things.
oh
Hey,
yeah,
I heard she lives off of Satan sandwiches. You gotta like her.
no, she doesn't. But you BS me, Doug. No, um, no, I get snobby with music sometimes because I studied music for too long and did nothing with it. So it's snobby
I
and
don't know.
spite. You know what I mean? Snob and
I
spite.
like. I just think that like there's better battles to choose. You know what I mean? Like, I think that like when it comes to the what do you listen to, like, um, I think that like I've really gotten used to listening to so much stuff. That like I'm just like I see why you like it. It's no para me, but you know, I'll still let you rock it. Um, without judging, unless it's my sons, I'll judge them. It's my job to form them good habits.
Love that.
Oh, and one of them just ran outside, so I'm assuming his mom's home. Yes, the matron has arrived.
Sorry, I'm focusing so much on this teeth right now.
Okay. Um, yes. So my Kickstarter, 100% funded. Feels great. I'm excited. I think I'll be able to sleep a little bit better tonight. But I still have some really really cool interviews coming up. Um, I did the Odd Contenders for the first time on Tuesday. That was a really fun show.
Was it?
Yeah, really really cool. And they're like, those dudes are like, um, they do this thing for they pick a prompt off of like um what your IP is, and then everybody does a sketch based off that, and whoever backs during the stream, like they'll throw their sketch or their painting up for that person. Like, just super selfless, just a cool way to draw and have fun.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
cool. We
they're
should do that
cool
more.
guys.
Yeah, really
They're cool
cool.
guys.
Um, the
Send them my way.
yeah, for sure. Hook everybody up with them, and then there's a I don't know how many of you guys have talked to East Castillas before, but he just dropped his book, Kill Stan, um, and he's like a stand-up comedian and stuff. So he's like super fun to talk to. So I got him coming up, and then I've also got some shows that are more accessibility based, um, to encourage and empower people with exceptional needs to do the thing and live positive lives. And I've got I did like a urban culture show last night, which was super fun, just to talk about the little strip that I created for his online magazine. The strip's called OGs. It's just like a black comedy geese strip that I created. Um, and just kind of like just really opening myself up for like the media tour. Like, I'm treating this month like a convention, basically. Um, and like that's the thing that I've learned over the last 2 years is like how to be really on. And so I'm going full tilt because mid-May I'm taking my wife away for our 10 year, And dang it, I'm gonna chill.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, dude.
Where are you going?
Going to DR,
What's
Ooh.
DR? Oh, Dominican Republic.
Dominican
Oh, dude,
Republic.
that's
Yeah,
sick. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We I surprised her with it. I booked it before Christmas, and then I think she was more shocked at the fact that I took initiative to do something that like daring without consulting her.
Nice.
In the summary was like, I watched all the vlogs.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
So yeah, so it's cool. So it's we haven't been on like a vacation. Like, she's accompanied me to like a couple shows, but I'm working, right? So it's like she comes, joins me on the convention floor, and then that's like, a hey there, oh there. But you met her at in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I was about to say.
yeah,
Super rad.
yeah. And it's
That's the
like,
hard part about what we do sometimes too, is that like our vacations are us just doing cons. Like I'm taking time off at the end of what do we call it, April here to do BICS in
mhm,
Brooklyn. And so it's just like, man, I'm taking like 4 days off, but it's like I'm just spending like a day in New
you're
York, but
working.
I'm working after that. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
hustling Apollo.
Well,
You
man,
going to Brooklyn, huh?
you get to encounter Reese.
Yeah, a lot of people. Reese, think I'm just
Life on
seeing maybe
Saturn.
William Ibanez if he's free and wants to hang real fast. But Life on Saturn, Javi Martinez, we're gonna kick it with. He'll be tabling with me too. Um, yeah, it'll be a good show. There's a lot of great creators there. RD Murphy's gonna be there. Um, man, there's so many people I've said that I'm gonna hit up, and I'm spacing them all out right now.
It's okay. They'll
But
only
I'm hyped.
remember when you walk up to them and then they ignore you.
There you go. Um, yeah, it's gonna be, and plus, like, I'm gonna like kind of make it rough on myself. It's a 2 day con, so we're driving up Thursday to hang out, and then we're gonna drive back Sunday night too, just so we can rest
Hmm.
all day Monday. So yeah, it's kind of rough, but hey, gotta do it sometimes. Late night
Yep.
drive.
Yep. I know all about late night drives.
And once you get out of New York, it's fine.
No, once you get out of Jersey, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true too, actually. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, I don't like the tone in the voice there, Brandon.
I'm from New Jersey. It's okay. I grew up
Where,
10 miles outside the Bronx.
oh, nice.
Hey.
That's where Life Inside are.
Yep.
But then, dude, we have a pretty stacked year. In fact, I need to check my email to see if they responded about the meeting tomorrow. Not yet. But yeah, we're doing Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase. That's our next one, and then I think May 10th we're seeing Mastodon and Coheed and Cambria, and
Dang.
then in June we're seeing. Oh, we're going to Warp Tour in DC. And then right after that is I think we're going to be part of this Positive Force DC 40th anniversary show, which is this really cool um punk movement back in the 80s. And they had like Fugazi play and like all these cool punk bands. And so they're doing a 40th
Heck.
anniversary thing because of the politics in the atmosphere right now. And I asked if we could table and hang out, and they said, "Let's talk right before the show happens and fit you in." And I was like, "Yes, hyped. Let's do
That's
it." So,
wicked. Gotta get you some
uh,
Apocalypse now.
yeah, yeah, that's the end of June. So we'll definitely should have some by then. Um,
Yeah.
and
Worst
then
case, the process scenes or something.
July, I have a meeting with the person. We just got to confirm the time. But there's the National Cannabis Festival in Washington, D.C. that I applied for, and they said they'd love to have us. And so I'm super
Oh.
hyped because we have the One Hitters anthology that's went to print today,
Hmm.
that I'm super excited for. And then we have Outer Space 1 and 2. I have my High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong Boy prints, and then we'll have a One Hitters print too. So I have some good
Here,
merch for that show. Oh, there you
Outer
go.
space.
Outer Space. Our boys. Eric and Ben. Eric, I won't say Eric and Ben Allred, but it's not the case. Eric Allred and Ben Collins and
Um,
Jackie Venturi.
Venturini.
yeah, yeah. I really want to figure out like different shows to try to like test the waters at. Like I've got 15-year career of tattooing and stuff that I'm slowing down on, but I'd still think it'd be cool to do a vendor table at a tattoo convention just to sell art
Yeah.
that's different. It would be really neat and see if it catches on. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think the half the like I saw somebody post something today and it was like being an artist doesn't mean you're an entrepreneur or something like that. And then like um my take on that is that there is an art to entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
And so, part of that is like gaining that courage to yell at strangers and, present yourself in a cool way. And I went to my optometrist today, and there's, a little dude that was in the waiting room with his mom, and just real friendly interaction where I was just like, oh man, check this out. I use this on my glasses. So like I got those little arm hooks for my glasses so they don't fall off when I'm drawing and stuff.
Nice. That's
Um,
cool.
and so I was like, 'cause he's talking about he plays baseball and all that stuff, and I was like, yo, man, you read comics? He's like, no. I was like, is it because you can't? Like, is it because you have an issue like connecting to the size of the font? He's like, well, kind of. I was like, check this out, man. I made an all ages book, and I just like giving out digital copies so that you can enjoy enjoy them on your iPad or whatever. So I was able to like get his mom to scan the QR code like right there, and I just thought to myself, like, it's not about converting sales, it's about creating an experience and connecting to audiences everywhere, and it was cool. It was neat to be able to like engage like that and not feel like you're breaking the rules by being friendly to people, because it's an art to breaking the fourth wall.
Dude, straight up, like Lex and I order Jimmy John's like every Friday just because we're tired and like lazy, and it's super cheap and convenient. And we keep on getting the same delivery guy like 3 weeks in a row. And now every time like, and we always tip in general, but now I just like give him a
Yeah,
comic like every time he comes. I'm
nice,
like, here's the comic for
nice.
next week. Thanks.
You got you got your Rob Schneider from Cozy's.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
You give him all the easy ones.
straight up. Oh, we have the chat to catch up on real fast. Jeff DeMars says congrats regarding your 10-year anniversary, I assume, when that popped up.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
K-pop junkie says, "Hey dudes, K-pop, I need to get on your show in May. Let's book this, even if we book it right now. Um we're launching something at Comics Wellspring in May, and we have some other Apollo stuff to talk about. But I need to talk to you about that. So we need to. I'm gonna message you right now. I'm gonna stop drawing. I'm gonna send you a message and say let's do an interview in May. I got to start booking interviews for May like crazy. Let me see, K-pop.
You need
There we
help getting
go.
some people
Yo. Um, well, so I'm gonna be promoting this big Kickstarter CWS is launching. I'm actually like announcing it during that interview with the head of Kickstarter this coming Monday.
Oh, cool.
in?
Um,
Yes.
and so
So is this your soft announcement? What you're doing right
this is
now?
my soft announcement because I don't know how to keep secrets like that. So we're CWS. So we've been selling this blue line paper. It just came out. We've gotten great feedback from people, and so what we're doing is we've been kind of establishing stuff in the background to. Um, oh yeah, I did message K-pop, so we're all set. Um, so we're working on a book, and it's a step by step how to make comics for like all ages. It works for younger kids, it works for teenagers, it works for adults. But at the end of this book, you will have a physical comic in front of you that you have created, and it's just
Sick.
something to encourage people. And it's literally to give you, like literally, there's so many how to make comic books, but none of them tell you like exactly what to do step by step. It's that whole thing I talk
Mm-hmm.
about when I reference the Marvel How to Draw book, where you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
you've got some shapes, and then you define it just slightly, and then boom,
Yeah,
Daredevil. And
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, I missed
yeah,
like four
yeah.
steps here. We're
Uh,
filling in those 4 steps to everything, and it's so cool. It
They're
comes with a
giving you the
booklet.
tools, but they're not telling you how to hold them or charge
Yeah,
them or
right.
change the drill bits.
Boxer. Bloxdorf.
Oh, is this the part of the
Animals go
segment
drink.
where we all just yell random words?
Yes. I got my How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I got this book when I was 10 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got mine kicking around somewhere. My son bull guarded it off me a little while ago,
I got a copy downstairs.
and then my little son said, "Screw that book. I'm just gonna draw wieners."
Straight up.
That's a legendary moment.
I got to hang out with your son. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh man, I don't think you can handle him. He likes to backseat drive when my dad's taking us somewhere. He's like, "Papa, step on the gas."
That's
And
hilarious.
unfortunately, my dad's just at that age now where he's impressionable enough to fall for it.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, it does sound fun.
It's like, dude, there's laws. I am the law.
I would be breaking the law like crazy if I was like an old person. Like, I'm dying. Like, let me just live my life a little bit. Like,
Don't you know
gonna
my
go 20
expiration
over.
date is about to turn?
You know how fast you're going? I'm dying.
I can't drive 55.
We were talking about something about before. Oh, shows like what we're doing this year. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
so Cannabis Festival in July, and then I was gonna do a local art show here in Winchester.
nice.
Do it.
It's a 1 day art. I was, but then we got tickets to see Blink 182 and Alkaline Trio, and it's the same Saturday. So seeing Blink 182 and Alkaline Trio.
So you do have to
non
sleep in for
tickets.
that, obviously.
Yeah, I do got something for that. Non-tickets were $66. That's gonna be the cheapest I ever see those bands ever. Like, I'll take
That
it.
is really cheap, man.
Right? Right? When did you last pay $66 for a ticket? Like, the venue
I just
wasn't
saw
that
that.
big either.
So we got First Avenue here in Minneapolis,
Uh-huh.
the legendary venue from Purple Rain, where
Yeah.
Prince used to play. So we always have big bands coming here to play that, and I don't know, maybe you guys are too young to know Garbage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do 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 do.
Stupid Girl, I'm Only Happy When It
Yeah.
Rains.
Yeah.
Favorite
I
game.
just saw that. Yeah, I just saw that they're coming here, and I'm like looking at tickets, and it's $140 a ticket. I'm like, nope, can't do it. $140
Yeah, I
a
feel
ticket.
that.
Nope.
It's a
Yes.
lot. There's like
It
only a
is.
handful of bands I'd pay like over a certain amount for. Like Coheed tickets are always between 75 and like 100 something depending on the venue, but like that's also like you get the prize package where you get 10 minutes early and like an acoustic song and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like there's
That's
some
cool.
perks.
Mhm.
But or you just buy a regular ticket for $65 and I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know, like
Check it out. I think that's the most minimalist, like simplistic black layout I've ever done.
oh, that's sick, dude.
That's
Super
kind of
sick.
fun. The blues will work well with that.
William Ibanez said, I'll definitely try to check out BICS. I heard good things about it. Yeah, dude, come say hi. It'd be super cool to see you.
I would love to make it out to Chronicon.
Dude, yeah, I would love that too. Manson is coming to a small venue here, and I opted for a seat, and it was like 140. Yeah, dude, jeez. Yeah, concerts are rough sometimes. You have to really pick your battles, and because like even for me, like if I go to DC for a show, it's like okay, that's gas because it's like an hour plus away. Um, Probably can get food. Like, you gotta like determine all this stuff, like to even make sure you could afford to get there.
No
Yeah,
babysitters yet.
no babysitters yet. Just cat sitters, but they don't charge. So back all that out.
Yeah.
I think this is out.
Yeah, I'd like to continue to diversify. Like art shows, I've done a few art shows. I've got a a speaking engagement coming up with a new agency that used to operate under a different title, and that's mid this month. And so they're called Public Display Agency now. But like they run these very cool like nightclub esque night out shows, and it's real high energy. But like I realized that I'm running out of like large scale fine art because I've like been selling all my paintings and stuff. So then it's like, oh, when do I have time to make new art? I don't, because I'm making comics. So like, I
Story of
think
our
that's the cool
lives.
part. Well, it's the cool part about going to like the 60 or the 18 by 24 format covers, because I'm like, if I really want, I can take that with me and sell that as an original, and make the bank on it or whatever. But um, you know, it's just that art hustle. Um, love to get to the point where I've got my little studio and I can set up and do my painting time and then my comic time, and basically the Jason Alexander lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Just exactly what I was thinking.
Um, the there's a group called Raid Press out of Toronto, and the Raid. I don't know. I'm still working on figuring out how to say that. But it's like basically it's a co-working illustrator, gaming, design studio space, and it's pretty much like the Canadian lesser known comics. You just pay to be there, and everybody's there to do their own thing. But it's a great like networking environment. I guess it's very similar to what the PNEA's setup is there in Minnesota. Um, and so I'm going to check that out. I think I'm going to pay into that and start kind of giving myself some away from home workspace.
Yeah, honestly,
Important.
like it does help. I've noticed since I've been working from home the past year, it's been harder for me to like dive into some creative projects or like writing and whatnot. Like I kind of need that separation to like I guess decompress or disconnect from where I work and where
Yeah.
I live. And I was really excited because you think, oh, I'm home, like I could set up a cool schedule where I could be super productive. But it's weird. I don't know why. It's harder for me to when I was on like a timer, like when I worked at the grocery store just full time. I feel like I wrote and created a lot more.
I guess last year before last, um, I was a ladder jockey for my buddy for a couple days, and um, it's just so funny because like he's up, painting a roof, or like windows, the trim around windows, and he's like 35 feet in the air, and I'm the little fleshy anchor at the bottom, making sure that like the wind doesn't carry him away. And the whole time I'm just thinking like, what am I going to do with the next issue? How am I going to progress this? How am I going to make this better? And it's like gust of wind comes by. You good? You know, Same thing
Yeah, I
comes
feel
up. Hey
that.
man, you available? No, man, you don't want to know how dark my brain went.
Vibes. Um, sorry, I got really involved here. I
Yeah.
had something to say and I was holding on to it, and then it just like
Hold on,
left.
hold on. I just want to say hi to Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Mike Sears. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Mike Sears, our boy.
Am I?
He was on last week. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was cool. I've said it before. I'll say it 1,000 times. Mike lives in a alternate universe where time doesn't actually exist, which allows him to put out 7,000 pages every month.
I know, right?
Dude, Mike had hit up the CWS account and was like, "Hey, I'd love to be on Spilled Ink," and I was like, "All right, cool." And I try to partner people like with them, like who would vibe with who, and how can I get some cool conversations out and going. And I was like, who would be really fun to pair with Mike Sears? Like, who would be a
The
great time?
maple syrup motor mouth.
And it was perfect. It was just such a good time. I really try to partner people so they have fun and it's engaging. But then sometimes you have like all of us so focused that we're just quiet. That's why we got the
I think
logo.
we've been doing pretty good. Not going to pat ourselves on the back or anything, but I know that I'm awesome.
Dude, straight up, I was telling Lex before I got on, I was like, I'm so excited because like nights like tonight, like it's so easy for me because like Doug Knight's on and Doug Knight talks a lot, so it's just super chill. Like it's like when I have like Tanner Ogle or Kevin
Yeah,
Betu, you know what I mean? Like those guys are
yeah,
just
yeah.
like on it and just making jokes and just laughing. And like for me, once I start getting involved, especially in the inking, I get quiet because I'm just like, man, don't
Yeah,
screw this up.
that's why I just suddenly got quiet because I'm inking or trying to
I've
ink.
been inking this whole time. I'm running my mouth. Well, you guys got to step it up. I mean, it looks like dog poop, but it's still getting there.
You
Um,
you accept
yeah,
your
no,
mistakes a
dude.
lot more than us.
No, I don't accept them. I bury them. I just go
I,
with that happy little tree.
yeah, straight up. It's been interesting.
Um,
I've been really having to like get over that, especially working on this cover. Like I kind of froze for a little bit working on it. I kind of like over intimidated myself, and I was like, I just need to shut
mhm.
up and just put like, just do it, just do it. And that's literally the hardest part is just getting in front of it and just like putting your hand to paper. Once you're doing it, you're like, well, it's happening.
sketch
Whatever's gonna
covers.
happen.
Sketch covers are intimidating because like a barrier of his master's voice kind of in your ear, and it's like you almost feel like you're waiting for permission for someone to say yes, that's okay for you to do that, and then you realize that we're all kind of pirates anyway, so this is like a good opportunity to learn and to develop. And so once you kind of get into that mindset of just having fun and really like pushing the boundaries and figuring out your style and stuff, then it gets way less pressure. Um, but yeah, the first time like I sat like I keep all my like first sketch covers just because they're reminders of the fact that like I looked so stiff when I do them, like it just didn't look like a reflection of my stuff because I wasn't having fun and I wasn't sketching. I was trying to make these perfect things, but the perfection comes by hiding the first version and doing a better one.
Yeah, honestly though, you just gotta accept that. I gotta get better at accepting that imperfection and not just being worried about it. I get like I don't know. I think my family came here from Germany, so I think my like hidden Jewish side kicks in, and I just don't want to waste supplies or covers or anything. And I'm just like, it needs to be
Yeah,
right. But you gotta get over that, like
but that comes with
especially with
application
stuff.
and practice.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, and once I do it, I have a
Um,
blast. Like, dude, this is pretty sweet. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned in so far.
That looks
Kind of
awesome.
finished the draw.
I like
I'm
that.
glad
that's
I
great,
did that
buddy.
green.
Yeah.
That really paid off.
That looks really good. But when did you change your name to DePillis?
That was a good one.
Um, uh, thank you, thank you. Donka.
Um, Mike's here says, doing good off work tomorrow. All right, I'll tell you. I'll have the time stone. And he said, do y'all bully AI artists when you're bored? Oh, dude, when I go on threads, I get ballsy for some reason. I just like get frustrated with people on threads and I just start talking smack to some MAGA people and AI people. I just can't hold
I
it
used
back.
to do that
It's
a long time ago, and I can't do that stuff anymore.
You really
You
shouldn't. Like, I need to
can't
stop.
you can't yeah, you can't argue with stupid. I'm sorry, but you can't. And stupid and lazy is even worse. And I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion, especially with people who use AI art. I have a very
I
low
think
threshold for it.
I think it's interesting seeing the defense mechanisms pop up when people say like, well, I'm just X, so that's why I had to use these tools because they're available to me, and so it's like I don't know. It's just again. I pick my
It's an
battle. I think it's a
excuse.
parenting thing. You know, you
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you, Doug. But
but like it's just like
it's an
it's that
excuse.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's also
it
one of those
is.
things where it's like I'm not gonna also like get so bent out of shape because that's the path you chose to do. I'm just not going to look at it with the same level of responsiveness that I would give some beautifully inked pages or somebody that used, show me somebody that works digitally that uses 750 different brushes to simulate realistic texture because they still did it. They still moved their hand to do the thing to, select the things or whatever. But like, um, I don't know. I turn like pun intended. I turn a blind eye to the stuff that doesn't matter to me, you know? Um,
Sorry, I
there.
just love you, Doug.
So my my whole thing with AI is kind of turned into basically like as a musician, you want to use guitar pedals, right? And AI
Mhm,
is an extension, a tool you can use to enhance something you've done, maybe, or add to it. Um, I had somebody submit a submission and they said that they use this tool to enhance the coloring, but it was like an
mhm,
AI tool that they use. And I was like, oh, I see what you did here. And the effect it had on the page made it look radically different. Like it
mhm,
worked. And I've, when I'm writing 20, social media posts at work, I'll start using the AI assistant just to be like, my brain's fried. I can't
mhm.
write more copy. Like using it as a tool, like I would, like playing the guitar and I'm playing all the notes and I'm doing that, but I'm using it as like a phaser pedal. Um, that's where I go with AI at this point because it's become just so part of everything. But I'm like, I'm still doing everything. I'm just enhancing it slightly.
I
But if
will
I
say
didn't have
this.
it, I could still do it without it.
Yeah. AI from an accessibility perspective is, there's programming and stuff now that it's designed to, translate to audio descriptions of things. And there's like some very cool things that are available to help enhance lifestyle. Um, and so I get it, but like it's kind of that thing is it's like, you get the robot to do it and you're taking away from
Yeah.
accessibility advocate or something. So it's like I don't know. I'd rather just walk hand in hand into the future with the robots than fight them every step of the way. I do my thing, they do their things. If I need them to help me cross the street, I'll hope that they like me still.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like
And
I use you if I need it, but I really don't. Like
and if you see me
you
riding
got
that sick Kawasaki horse, get out of my way.
it something it's weird how you have to like fight technology in the future, but also like
Mhm.
maintain your integrity. I feel like this is how people felt when computers came out. Like
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear I don't. It's not that I dislike AI in total. I just don't like AI people who use AI for art. Is my
oh yeah.
problem.
Uh,
Oh, especially that. Like I'm never gonna generate images. I'm never gonna
No,
do stuff like that. Yeah.
I understand its uses in so many fields, including science, and I just have a particular feeling when it comes to art.
and you are so entitled to your feelings, you know?
Yeah. No,
Like
I
that's
respect
the
that.
cool part about picking your battles is like someone's entitled, and then to let them think what they want to think and be a part of what they want to be a part. Because I'd rather they contribute comfortably into the conversation and feel like their opinion or feelings are not valid. And
Hmm.
and then that's how you create hostile work environments. Like, well, if I'm not respected, then I'm not going to say anything. No, tell me how you feel. Like, if I agree with you, I'll agree with you. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to tell you. Like, we see differently on this one. But like,
I
when I tell you
do.
that we see differently or we're the same, like, it doesn't mean we're on the same team or a different team. It just means that we've got this beautiful ability to say cool words.
I do want to say one more thing though about AI. Um,
We got an
it's
hour.
not
You're good.
AI will never reach into my brain and pull out the stories in my head or
Right.
the decisions I make or the decisions I make as an artist. It will copy not me, but it'll copy better artists than me. And I do have take issue with that, but I do know in terms of like production, AI will never pull from my brain. And I guess I'm not worried about it like taking from me, but there are people who do whose lives do depend on their art, and
Yeah.
I have the bigger concern for them. and what
Yeah.
they're going to lose, because there are ads that are being done by AI now that could have
Oh, it's
had a
so
model
bad.
of a
Yeah.
photographer. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then and there's
Yeah.
and there's and there's some jerk off who's like, oh yeah, I'll just do this, boss, and he thinks he's saving the company money. But then you look at the ad and you're like, oh, this is horrible. I'm never going to use your product. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the now they're hiring AI prompters. Oh, that's sick. Can I show the guys? Okay, check this out, guys. Ronnie just drew these robots.
Oh,
Oh,
cool. Hell yeah.
I like
Robots.
the color
Hell yeah.
choices.
They said,
Oh,
"Hell yeah,
go, go
cool."
more to the top of your page. Yeah,
Yep.
more left. There you go. We can see it better. There you go. That's sick.
That's
Hell
art
yeah.
by Ronnie.
Love that.
He's
Good
a
job,
pretty
Ronnie.
talented
Love that.
5-year-old.
Good job,
Everybody
Ronnie.
says, "Good job, Ronnie." Ronnie's currently licking the snot off his top lip.
Love it.
That's very good.
Also using the sketch cover, I'm only using a few tools. I'm not using my full inking set that I typically do. I'm just using my standard like little blue Pentel brush.
Yeah.
It's the only inker. I might use a thinner one for the spawn and the eyes though. Just wanted to point
Well,
that out.
I'm still picking away with just the number 2, and it's coming along. I got a predator head. I got a Black Panther.
Mike Sear says there needs to be a way to credit the artist that they use for an AI image. Like you can upload an AI model and a model says this was made by these people. Dude, that's cool. Honestly, I like that. That's a good idea. Being like it pulled
Yeah,
from
like
these three creators
demonstration, all the
to create
prompts.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's so
Like,
large though. It would be like a IMDb. It'd be like a rolling credits for a Disney film.
I mean, at least it's there though, like
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least give
absolutely,
Kirby credit.
for sure.
They just keep on finding ways to steal Kirby's credit, you know what I mean? Like that's all they're doing. I think I'm gonna black out the back of this to be honest.
I'm trying to
The
figure out what
only
else I
person
want to
who
do because I'm really liking where I am.
you got some Kirby Crackle in there.
No, I did not do Kirby Crackle because it's the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut does not have Kirby Crackle, but I do gotta think of something in the background.
Got some automatopoeia.
That's looking great, yeah.
What's one of
Oh
your
man.
favorite writing tools, Brandon?
Writing
Right?
tools, as in
Easy. That's easy.
Like,
3-act structure.
all right.
Is that what you mean? A 3-act
Well,
structure?
yeah, like I'm a sucker for like if I can cram alliteration into something, I go for it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah. That's
Ah.
always fun. But I've because of the way I letter and the word balloons I use circle word balloons. Well, in a lot of my stuff. Not everything. I'm not in drip that I have coming out later this year, but I use a lot of circles for word balloons, which caused me to heavily edit my word balloons. And I don't know where I was going with this. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? Yeah, so the use of the circular word balloons really helped me become a better writer because I had to get rid of superfluous words and get my point across. And then the other thing it did was because I was limited, because a circle, you're limited with room as opposed to an oval, right? So if you're limited with room, I'm limiting my words. I then just realized I have to be better at showing emotions, and it made my artwork better by limiting my words. So, if that makes sense, if you guys get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's a very cool thing. Like it's so funny. Like when you tell people, yeah, I write it and I letter it and I draw it and I color it,
Yeah.
and everybody looks at you like, oh, that's a lot of work, and you're like, no, it's the path that I choose because it saves me from waiting on other people to do the work for me. Like, it's very fun. Like it's cool to be the Swiss Army knife, and it's also cool to work with other people. Like, learning how to let go of the reins a little bit, and outsource and see what that's like. I'm working on it slowly, and because my big thing too is it's like I don't want the chain of command to slow down because I can't afford to pay people what they're worth. And as independent artists, like you're worth more than people that are on salary somewhere because this is what you're doing. So I want to be able to like give people their dues, and right now I'm not at a point where I can do that. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to make people wait to get receiving or to receive funds for something that they should have gotten paid for weeks ago. And it's not right. I learned a tough lesson last year about making projects and not getting paid. And the thing, instead of being angry about it, that I took from it is I'll never put people through that same, make people feel that same way. Um,
Oh,
so
sorry, that happened to you, Doug?
you know what? What's funny about it is like there's different. I've gotten different feedback about it where it's like the people that like are fighting for every dollar, like you and I and stuff like that. Like we get that where it's like that. Oh man, sorry, that really sucks and stuff. And then you get to somebody who's like been doing it for 15, 20 years, and they just chuckle. It's like sounds like comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah, I'm still waiting to get paid for a project I did in '92.
Yeah,
no, the
straight up
robot's
no.
not too tall. That's a great robot. Yeah, it's a good giant robot. And I keep talking to my buddies. Go show your mom. Go show your mom. Okay. Excellent. Good job. I heart parenting. Oh, this
You're doing a
is coming
great
along
job,
cooler
Doug.
than I thought it was going to be. What's that?
I said you're doing a great job parenting.
Thanks, man. I actually I'm very proud of how I parent you. So thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're a good
like
parent.
I am proud to say that my kids to this point do not resent me for chasing my dreams.
I actually thought you were going to finish that with, I'm proud to say at this point, my children have not killed anybody, maimed anybody, or,
It's still early in the
or
story,
entered
man.
a prison.
I don't want to give away
Still
any
early.
spoilers. Ronnie's got some pretty. Ronnie's like Goku. You knew he was going to be trouble at an early age, and
Amazing.
his power levels are definitely over 900.
That's amazing. Um, I was focusing so hard on that little mini spawn. I forgot everything I was gonna say. Since the Comics Wellspring store is giving up the Ghost, what's a good online store for comics? We're actually working on bringing back the bookstore right now too, which is exciting. We'll actually have a store for people soon, or something. We're working on something. Um, Honestly, I think people making their own websites is a big thing. What I'm trying to do is find ways to like highlight creators or be like check out these creators like in our newsletter. I'm trying to really beef up the CWS newsletter to be a spot where people can learn more
I've
about
noticed.
comics. Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
working hard on it lately, the last few months.
Mhm.
We're doing segmented stuff, so you want to like read last week's and read this week's, and every month we're trying to give like a PDF download, and it's we're really trying to also like focus our newsletters on Kickstarters, and that's going to
Mhm.
be beefing up more. Um, we're trying to do so much just to help the community grow. Because I mean, me being a creator, I'm like, well, what would help me out? And
I
then I
mean,
just
it
try to
would
do
even be cool to
that.
do to get a CWS strip, or you contract it out like one per every month. Just reach out to dudes that can do it to give them lots of time to heads up to plan, and just have like that strip on it, and just be like featuring this highlighted
Oh,
artist or whatever for the month.
yeah, for the month, that'd be sick. That'd be actually
Because
cool.
there's a lot of strip
Yeah.
artists, right? Like there's a lot of guys that are producing, even webtoons and stuff like that. Like, so I think that'd be cool way to feature.
Yeah, that's actually a great
I
idea. Might
should
do that actually. Well,
I should
I'm
So
going to
probably
like,
start doing.
what's that?
you could even do like the top of it. Sorry. Just quick. Let me get this one out. The top of the header be like ink with like the funnies like opened up, and then like that the underneath it would be the featured strip for the month.
That'd be great, actually. I would love to do that. That's actually a really good idea. Because, well, yeah, I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna,
No tariffs,
mm.
10%.
Well, what's cool is that we're gonna
Did you
start
just
kind of
say no
supporting
tariffs?
Kickstarters too. Yeah, straight up. We're
There's
gonna
no tariff
start
on friendship.
backing
No tariffs
Kickstarters
on
and kind of
friendship.
supporting them. So we'll have like a budget where I can allocate where I could back us like a certain amount of Kickstarters going on to help creators too. So kind of just
Cool.
supporting in that way too.
So you're
I
saying
left my
I should
white
turn
out
on the
down
late
here.
tier?
Hey, maybe.
No, it's really cool, man. I've noticed that like one of the things that really has kept me involved. No, thank you. That's kept me engaged with CWS is the fact that you can see that there's growing pains, but you guys are taking your ibuprofen and you're rolling with it, and you're not making anybody else suffer the best that you can, mitigate that. For the people that have been there since day one, anyways, that have been patient and so I think the community respects that, and the people that have stayed through to it are going to get rewarded at the end of it. Nothing like monetary, but it's just like the fact that you call in customer service knows your name. That's how that like we all have like all of our parents are if they're in the trades they call the companies that they've been dealing with since like 1986. Like this is so and
Yeah.
so. Oh, hi so and so. How's your grandkids? Like
Yeah.
that's
No.
how they do it. It's just like good old fashioned trust in people's development.
Yeah, and like there's a whole change ups that happened last year. And when you think about when you start a job, like it takes you about 6 months to get that job down, you know? And to like be like, okay, I get what I'm doing here. I know the flow. I can figure this out. And then it takes you about a
Yeah,
year to
like
like
parenting.
allocate. Yeah, dude, it just and so now I literally just hit a year like with CWS, and now I'm like, okay, I've learned these lessons. I see how this works. I know what this
Yeah,
does. Like now I could fucking innovate, and now I could really
yeah.
make things happen and know what I could take charge with. And so I have all these big dreams and goals and ambitions, and then I found out like when Greco sold the company, they like sold a flaming pile of shit that was like full of
hmm
lies and false
The,
P&L
the,
sheets and
it,
shit.
it was it was a tire fire on a garbage barge that they pushed
Yeah,
into Lake Ontario.
dude, yeah, straight up. And so now I'm so stingy with our budget now because I'm just like I want to make sure the company's in good health, I have a job, and like I don't get in trouble. Um,
Yeah.
and so like, I'm pulling back on cons a bit, but I'm like trying to find other ways to be like, if we're not at cons, like how am I gonna make up for that? How am I gonna, show the community we're still out there and helping them? And so these newsletters, these segments, that's why I pulled back on Inspired Ink too, was like not that it was like getting tiring or any of that. Like it's more one of those things where I'm hearing what is frustrating creators every single week. And sometimes our conversations focus on that. And it's like, well, why don't we make some solutions and then see some change and then bring people on and then see if the environments change. I kind of use it as
hmm
a tester. How do I get feedback from the community on what it needs and wants? And that's what the shows were about. And now I'm working on doing book reviews on our channel. So I've been filming a bunch of all the
Nice.
comics I have. I'm filming like little short, real brief, 1 to 2 minute reviews. You know what
Yep.
I mean? 3 minutes most, just real fast. But like, I want to show the community that we love their books and maybe give you guys some footage to use and toss around. Like promote
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Hey,
Dude,
what
that's
time are we going to?
huge.
I have an
I love
idea.
that.
Oh, we have 30 minutes. We have like 25 minutes left actually.
Okay, cool. So I would like to hear from both of you, and then I'll share what some of your dream projects that you'd like to work on that you've got on the back burner in the next year.
Like personal ones,
Yeah.
all of them.
With comics, right?
You're, yeah, 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 or whatever. Like if Brandon wants to do a all synth remastered version of Dream Theater, where he where he wears a Shakespearean outfit and performs it in the town square, let's hear about
That'd be
it.
sick. That'd be sick.
Which Brandon? Because I'm
Uh,
kind of into that.
yeah, yeah. It's a whole you open up a box. Why don't you go, Brandon? I would love to hear what you're trying to get done right now.
um, well, right now I'm finishing up Drip with with Nate. It's a horror story that I'm working on. Well, not finishing it up. I'm in the middle of drawing that. But another thing I'm doing is I'm writing, and I'm working on writing a story for. I put a crew together, and we're gonna pitch to publishers. It's I mean, maybe I can throw the pitch. I don't know. Should I pitch it to you guys now or just?
Yeah.
No, man, no,
watch
no.
it?
Keep let it brew, let it brew, let it brew. If you've got a team, get it perfect and then pitch it.
Oh no, I have the pitch. The pitch is perfect.
Okay, let me hear
Go
it.
ahead.
I want to hear it. I just didn't want to torpedo it and then
No.
what'd you do?
It's the Jersey Devil hunts down a small detachment of redcoats who were escorting a colonial spy through the Jersey Pine Barrens during the Revolutionary War. It's Predator meets the Revolutionary War.
That's sick.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty sick.
Sounds challenging artistically, so I've been digging it.
Yeah,
I
it sounds
won't
like
be
a lot of
drawing.
fun.
I won't be drawing.
Ooh, just be writing?
Yep.
Nice. Love hearing that.
Because I want to get back to Autolize 2 and 3 and put it together as a graphic novella and then pitch
Nice.
that to some publishers also.
Nice. Well, Fake Your Death should be coming out this year. China's working on the last little first story. We did this cool thing where we wanted to tell the stories of the people to kind of get an attachment of them first before the first issue. So pretty hyped that's going to come out. That's going to be a pretty hefty book too. It'll be a trade for sure starting off. The Teenage Babylon #1 is going to be coming out. I'm almost done touching up issue 2 script to go into 3 so we can start that up. The broadcast dialogues and the Daemons are the two projects I like to see get off the ground, and Jeremy drawing and working on them this year. That's the big goal. Is I need to sit down and write these two stories and get those flowing. I owe a lot of artist scripts right now. That's where I kind of get flustered where I don't know what to work on, and you just got to remember just do anything and it's good. Literally just work on something. Kind of like with drawing, you're like I have this thing to do and it's really big and intimidating. You're like just start, you just do it and it'll figure itself out.
I think I'm done with mine. Sorry. I was listening to
nice. Oh, it's thick, dude. You just blacked out that. Oh man, that's so cool.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Make it that zoom on.
Yeah, let me put that highlight.
Whoa! I just zoomed in.
Sorry.
Nice.
That's like
you
a
little
great
perspective wizard,
dude. Yeah, you're really good at your perspective.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know or haven't seen your Inspired Ink interview, where you really kind of dished out a lot of your secrets in that interview with us, but you get your perspective because you're a carpenter, huh? Like you see stuff in a different angle and way in general.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not just carpentry. I studied photography, and I used to in college. And I spent about 4 years photographing, and I used a lot of not fish eye lens. I used wide angle lens that gave almost like a fisheye effect, but it's not. But I learned in using the wide angle lens, I would get down on the ground and get above. But then carpentry also, you spend a lot of time on the floor, a lot of time on ladders, and you can see perspectives. Yep. And also being a finished carpenter, I have to pay a heavy attention to details, which allows me to pay attention to some details in life. And I can see details in things like an outlet cover or a boot or, somebody's hand. And then, it's just a combination of a life lived, right?
And what doesn't work, you just fill the shit with DAP.
No, I just cover everything with a hand. I got really good at doing
that's your black it out point.
That's my black it out. Is I cover everything with a big hand.
Just DAP. That's trade talk between two friends. When I was creating one of the characters in White Soul Squadron, it's like the minion the boss minion Majigger, the big bad busy boss bee in issue 2. And I remember going back and forth with DePillis about like, do I want to call him B Walt or Ryobi? And we're just like riffing on like really cheesy like tool based names that like only dads and tradesmen would giggle at.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
You decided on Ryobi, right? Like B, like
No, I ended up going with Big Bad Busy Boss Bee.
big
So I
bad.
just really wanted to get like I really wanted to ruin the toy box.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little
But
finger
yeah,
right here.
little teeny tiny thingy.
I think this is the first one that I've finished on this show. I mean, it's only my third time on, but I think it's the first time I've thought of something, penciled it, and drew it on the show.
Oh,
Quite
oh
proud
yeah.
of myself.
Good
Oh
for you,
yeah.
man. Efficiency. See, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
I've been working on efficiency, actually. I've been working on speeding my process up.
It's good.
Got a lot of people telling me
Streamline.
that, streamlining, but doing thumbnails and stuff. And so I'm starting to do
Hmm.
more thumbnails and higher detailed thumbnails. And
Nice.
now I know I can get a page done in a day. I just finished a
Yep.
page in 6 hours, which is three
Nice.
nights at 2 hours a night, which I'm proud of. And
Yep.
really happy with what's going on with my process lately. So
Great,
Sick.
buddy.
um, yeah, I'm looking forward to moving forward. I want to see if I can now. I want to see if I can get like 12 pages done in a month, and still be
Yep.
a full-time working
Yep.
carpenter and get 12 pages done in a month is a lot. So
Yeah. That's fucking amazing. I sometimes wish I could just do like one thing. You know what I mean? Like I wish I just like could just focus on one thing for a bit, and it's so hard for me. I always I have too many things open right now, or I start working on my projects, and I'm like, oh, I gotta help this whole thing with managing this Apollo project, and I'm like, damn, I didn't do anything on mine yet. I'm tired now.
Is that a slow jab at me?
No, I mean that's like it's like something like it's learning about balance, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
slowing down. I think that's my biggest thing right now. I'm trying to slow down and just pace it, take a breather. Like so much is happening so fast because we have such a productive team. It's kind of like hard to like really see I guess light at the end of the tunnel in a sense.
Hmm.
And so I really want to like just like, oh, I need to like spend time just going back to basics for some stuff again and like drawing and
Yeah, yeah.
basic drawing,
I did. I
Like
did
you
that. I
gotta,
did that in November. I slowed down and I
yeah,
took some illustration courses, and I'm really happy that I did because I was able to tighten up like some aspects that like I knew I could do better, but I didn't have the solve for. So it's good. There's nothing wrong with slowing down and assessing where you are and being hypercritical and finding a fix for it.
exactly. No, you're completely right. Sometimes you need to just write down everything and just like slow down with it. Let me catch up on the chat here. Mike Sear says I'm also being in the newsletter will be rad. Also, my games Kickstarter only has 3 days left. Yeah, check out Mike Sear's game Kickstarter. It has a few days. You guys can back that right now. I'm still working on the Western Rabbit Man. Hell yeah, dude, Rabbit Man's so good. I'm also making a little love note cards. One idea is roses are red. This wood is treated. Bend over again, and you get your ass. Wait, where is it? You get your ass eaten. Oh my god, that was
oh
like
my
a
god,
Simpsons thing where you just got like tricked into saying that. You know what I mean? Um,
you did. You just got Simpsons.
yeah, straight up. Oh man, that was funny.
It was like a Ron Burgundy moment.
Yeah,
On the
dude. Yeah,
teleprompter.
straight up, dude. That's how it is here. I'm like reading it as I'm seeing it most of the time.
And I
Ron
And
never
Burgundy.
and the higher ups are just like, don't say it, don't say it.
He reads everything that comes on that comment list. You know this.
You're gonna accept offers from all the 3D printers.
Dude, right, yeah.
Well, I guess I asked a question. I'll I'll jump in and answer my own question from earlier.
Yes.
I've got I want to do like put together my own vanity anthology. Just call it like oh god, like I think I guess like Trabajo del Caballo or whatever, just like workhorse anthology, and just do like 5 different 10-page stories or whatever. It'd be really fun. Um, each one like exploring just something different, maybe like a theme of death or something like that. But just
Hey, would you
you
would
know,
you do a smut story if we asked you to?
oh, what's that?
A smut story? Would you do that? Would you? I'm kind of curious if you would do smut.
Uh, yeah, maybe if I could do it like Victorian smut, that'd be funny.
We can figure something
Oh,
out.
that would be wonderful.
So what we're trying to do is like, Odd Frictions is like, and I'm sorry to cut you off and just like steal it, but like Odd Frictions is a bunch of smut stories, but like instead of trying to pressure ourselves and get them all done at once, like I think we're gonna write them slowly and release them like small Tijuana Bibles and just have like
Yeah,
little zines of them out, And I'm like, oh, I'm
yeah,
done
I'd be cool
doing
with
this.
that. I think it'd be really fun to like to find a way of exploring what sensuality was from like different time zones, or like different like time like eras.
Oh,
Like,
that's cool.
like the ruching around your neck is so desirable, Like,
I love that. Yeah, we'll figure it
did
out.
you
We'll
did
talk
you
about
see
her.
Beth Ann? She's got 2/3 of her ankle showing.
Love that.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I only say no to bad ideas, and so like, if something comes to me and it's a good idea, I'm gonna jump on it. Um, you know, um, yeah. So hit me up. Um, what else do I want to do? I want to do my vigilante convention assassin story, where there's a ninja assassin that's hired to clear out mutants at cons that creep on cosplayers,
Oh yeah.
and just do like have it super funny where it's like there'd be like a criteria for enjoying the book right in the front page where it's like if you know rely on 90% of the source of your oxygen coming through your intake through your mouth, this book is not for you. If you see deodorant as an option, not a mandatory necessity, this book is not for you. Like,
Mm.
um,
Love that.
yeah, I think it'd be pretty funny. Not to exclude, but just like include and have fun with, right?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. That's the thing. You get like 1,000 good ideas, maybe, or you get 1,000 ideas, maybe two of them are good.
No, all mine
Or
are
actually
good.
like or actually just
Yeah,
like come to life in general. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the hard
yeah.
part.
It, DePillis, you don't have to coffer every ceiling. And Chantilly lace is not the perfect shade.
Wait, I'm sketching.
Made this face too big. But we are approaching the last like 10 minutes here. Um, I
Oh my
actually
god,
thought
I
I was
better
gonna get
hurry
way
up and
more
finish.
done. Yeah, I thought I'd finish mine tonight, but I don't think I am.
Yeah,
We barely
now I'm
open.
just sketching. I'm just sketching and having fun. Now I'm
Yeah, I think I'm
working on.
having
I don't
fun with
know.
this.
Now I'm drawing a woman in a prom dress or old timey dress.
I permeated your line of thinking with that Renaissance smut.
Yep.
Yep, straight up. I'm trying to finish these eyes though. Um,
Well, let me hop onto my chaos and see where we're at. See if we got anything new tonight.
well, also we have a before you do that. We're running the Hyperforce Kickstarter that's almost funded. We're like right there. We're like, I swear to God, I think we're like $50 away from being funded. So if you guys
Do
can,
it.
throw a couple bucks there. Even digital editions will help. Just trying to get that back account up. We're right there on that finish line. And then yeah, Hyperforce is gonna be the last Kickstarter until we do the CWS one, which will be from March 1st to March 31st. And if you guys are tabling at a shop, shoot me a message on the CWS Instagram so I can add it to a list that we're making. We're going to be sending flyers to those shops because we want to get blue line paper in stores. And we think that would be really cool. You could go get comics and blue line paper and like all your stuff from a shop. I think that'd be awesome. So make it happen by letting me know where you're tabling.
Hyperforce looks incredible.
Jay nailed it.
Yeah,
I did.
definitely jump in and check that out.
I'm always envious of Jay.
Well, I think we're envious of the people that like, like there's these little like sparks that like there's kind of a core group of us that have been together for like the past like 4 or 5 years, and I think the envy is like this like very naturally healthy like sense of like we're all chugging along at the same pace and we're all kind of growing off in these like divergent directions of um, specificity, and it's really cool to see the wildfire start to spread in different directions. So like Jay's mastery of like filling spaces with texture is just so cool, man. Like he just has he's got a very strong visual language for
Oh, yeah.
space filler and positive negative. So yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, my Kickstarter hit 100% today. There's definitely lots of room to continue growing. If you go over to Kickstarter, search Cross-Eye 2025, you'll find it. Cheeky little picture of a kid with a hat on. I've got volume 1 of Super Wicked White Cell Squadron dropped. That's my all ages project that I've got designed to get into as many children's hospitals as possible. And I've had a very successful couple of years of doing that, as well as volume 1 of Chiasm, the sci-fi retelling of my life as a childhood cancer survivor, swap chemotherapy with alien molecules. I'm combining all 3 of my current issues into a square bound, working on a full wrap cover for that, and debuting Apocalypse Now, my ska zombie apocalypse book that's just about random violence and good music. Just taking a step away from all the serious stuff and having fun two-stepping and smashing faces in a wasteland that's challenging artistically. So I set a very low price point on everything because I just want to get a big print run and get comics to good places. I've got Brandon Bloxdorf there handling distro in the US to make things easier. I've got comic books for kids out of Chicago handling distribution to children's hospitals that I haven't established relationships with, and I'm doing everything north of the border here, and it's just really cool. It's good. It's good to challenge yourself with one Kickstarter a year. And then jump on anthologies and stuff too, because we got It's a Horror Show coming back. That's coming shipping soon, right?
Yeah.
Or printing soon.
Printing of the soon eventually. Yes, we're working.
Yeah, printing of the soon eventually, but everything's getting tightened up. But yeah, I was part of that. Yeah. Which was really fun, just to take a break from everything else and be like, I'm gonna do a version of Frozen where the snowman does all the the killing. So it's cool, man. It's been a really cool year of comics on top of art, and this Kickstarter is hopefully just a reflection of people jumping on board and backing my ambition.
I love it, dude. Brandon, you want to promote, hype anything up?
Yeah. Either I think next week I'll be launching my my shop, my online shop at cannonballcomicshop.com. I'll have Autolize for sale there, Cannonball Presents, and It's a Horror Show, The Early Bird, as well as you can purchase sketch covers from me if you want on there also.
Yeah.
And joining me on my website will be Jeff DeMars, who did Tales of the Mariner, and he's got a book coming out called Finding Kismet, and he will be on my site also. And I'm working on other people coming on the site too. So look out for that next week. Cannonballcomicshop.com. And
Nice.
you can also find t-shirts that I designed on TeePublic under Cannonball. And you can find me on Instagram at DePillis and Blue Sky at DePillis. And I have Drip coming out later this year with Nate Price. It's a horror story, a Stephen King type horror story that takes place in the Graffiti Underground World. So it's sort of like a horror ghost story with graffiti, and I think you guys are going to like that a lot. So check
I
that
saw the
out
prelim
later in the
sketches
year.
for it. It looked really great.
Thanks. I've been working hard on that one. I'm really
Oh
proud of
yeah.
that one. It's a good story.
Oh
And
yeah,
to
dude,
show
that's
everybody,
the.
this is the full wrap as it's developing for Chiasm Volume 1.
Whoa!
Yeah, dude, that's gonna
Wow,
look
that's
great.
wild.
So the background's gonna be like all like watermelon, green, pink. Like I've got it. It's like an upside down perspective of like the optic nerves wrapping into the eyeballs. It's pretty fun. I'm having fun with it. And this is just the watercolor. I'm gonna jump into gouache and marker and pencil crayon and stuff. So it's gonna be an unstoppable force when it's done.
Oh yeah, dude.
There you go.
Dude, that's all so hyped. That's so many cool projects coming out. I'm super excited for all that.
We busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
But yeah, even with Apollo, this comic Kills Fascist came out in January. That's available now. It's probably been our highest selling book since the Punk anthology, which I'm super hyped about. Mm. And we actually just sent to print today one hitters. So anyone who backed that campaign, the Kick Off the Jams one hitter dual anthology one, those will be coming to your way soon. I'll probably be shipping out. I'm lying. I'm not going to do that first. I was gonna say I'm going to ship out Kick Out the Jams because I already have them with me, but I probably won't. Um, but other than that, like Apollo has a bunch of stuff. Check out Hyperforce right now, and our whole catalog on our store, which is wild. We won't be releasing any new books in May, which is insane because we've put out like a book a month lately. But we'll be working on panels and promoting that with Comics Wellspring, and we'll be back at it probably in June with a dual possibly Kickstarter for It's Probably Nothing and Soul Catchers, two books by Kai Brown that we're going to be running. And yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. Keep up with the policy comics and everything we're doing. And CWS, we want to help support your shops on Free Comic Book Day. So let us know where you're going to be tabling so I could send them some materials. And if you guys want to check out our Blue Line paper, like let me know. There's some great, great stuff about it I'm hearing. And I use it every week, so I love it. But you experienced artists using it for your everything, by all means. This is for you. And we made it affordable. We want to put it in your shop so you guys could get supplies and your comics all in one place. Your comic book shop. How cool would that be, Like it'd be really, really fun. But yeah, and then tune in Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be interviewing Sam Cusack, the head of comics over at Kickstarter, and be asking him all sorts of questions from how he got involved with Kickstarter, from his love of comics to how Kickstarter supports indie comics and how it balances things out. I'll be asking everything from the controversial stuff like competing with Boom and other publishers and how that operates and how they want to help support indie and any initiatives they're doing to push that forward. So I'm trying to work with them a whole lot more to make sure there's some more indie representation with Kickstarter. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really hyped for this interview.
I'm excited for it
Sam's a
too.
really guy. Yeah, I haven't done Inspired Ink in a minute since IC3, so it's gonna be a great time to catch up on that. But this is where I'm at with my variant cover. So this is the
Yeah.
original. Let's check out. This is the OG, Larson Venom one. So I did a McFarlane Spawn one right here.
Violet, you thinking, man?
That's
That's great.
awesome. I like the
Yeah,
green.
good flow.
There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm gonna touch it up a bit more, add some gray, and maybe even add some more color. I think I'll be able to color the tongue and some more stuff. So I'm pretty hyped about that.
This is where I'm at.
Ooh, dude.
Yeah. Got Black Panther running. Got some arrows. Working on the arrows. Got a Predatorial. There's some letters. Did some copy down there. It'd be cool. I think it'll come together nice.
I think it's gonna be
Nice.
great,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's looking real good. I'm gonna erase the pencils on mine too. I'm gonna probably let it dry for a few minutes and then erase the
Who
pencils.
erases pencils?
I do. I don't like having my pencils on, to be honest. Do you erase your pencils, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so do
try
I.
to, but sometimes I draw really heavy. So, but I try
Yeah,
to.
like I see it too much, you know.
Yeah.
This was a
Nobody
lot of
else
fun,
does
but
though. Yeah, it was
thank you
fun.
guys for not only coming on the show, but like you popped my sketch cover cherry, dude. Like I've never done a sketch cover before, so pretty
Just the
hyped here,
beginning, man. Wait till you start selling them. It's sick. Such a very cool experience to
well.
watch your sketch cover walk off the shelf.
Dude, I think I'm gonna do a couple of these since I'm doing Brooklyn Independent Showcase. I think I'll toss them on the table, and I'm gonna price them the way, I mean, the way I saw you price your stuff. Because I once Delgado gave you that talk, I feel like you were selling more sketch covers, that you have more
Yeah,
confidence in them. Like,
yeah, yeah. And I found the sweet spot on my stuff now that I know, like, sells very well. So it's good. It's really cool. But from my perspective, or like on my end, I just want to say thank you to you and Comics Wellspring for keeping this stuff up. Like this is really fun to participate with, and Apollo City Comics is like grown so crazy, and it's very cool to see you like getting, like, you're not just kind of getting swept away with it. You're really riding the momentum and wanting to do more. It's kind of, I think, like, probably DePillis can attest to it. It's like watching your GL come on site, and like you get tired of pushing a broom and want to learn how to frame a room or lay tile. Like, it's seeing somebody that wants to do more and gets really good at doing more is it's a very rewarding experience to see in a friend's accomplishment. So good job, man.
oh, thank you. That means a lot, and it's I still get taking compliments, so I'm gonna leave it
No,
at
it's
that.
good. Just take the compliment and shut up.
I appreciate it.
Take the
Appreciate it
compliment
so
and
much.
shut up and sit down.
You just do what I do. Say thank you in different languages. Somehow it feels less intrusive.
Oh, I love it.
Oh man, you're
And
doing
at
great.
that,
That's it.
thank you. At that, we'll leave it at that. That was a perfect joke to end it on. Like I added more black to the bottom, and that helped a lot too. Oh yeah.
When in doubt, black it out, bud.
Do straight up, just add a little texture on there. Um, but cool guys, I love working with you guys and doing everything we do. So until next time, you guys are always welcome. And thank you all for tuning in and drawing with us tonight. This was a great sketch cover night. And hit me up if you have any questions with CWS. More than happy to help. And Brandon, Doug, thanks for hanging.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
hey,
Later.
fill your ink, clean it up.